Hi, my name is Pranjal Barai, and the title of my project is The Effect of Sugar and Caffeine on Planarian Regeneration. Planarians have the ability to grow and shrink by how much food they consume, and they also have these types of body structures that allows them to have these abilities to where they can come back to their normal bodies with even the tiniest tissues that they can use. My question is, how does caffeine and sugar affect the regeneration process of a planarian flatworm? And my hypothesis is that if caffeine and sugar are given, then caffeine will slow down the regeneration because the neoblast may not be able to develop fully because caffeine is a toxic thing if you consume too much of it. Mix 54 grams of cane sugar with enough spring water to make a liter. After that, take the three amounts shown of sugar stock solution and mix it with the 3 amounts of spring water to make 50%, 10%, and 1% mixtures. After that, take 160 milligrams of caffeine and mix with enough spring water to make a liter of caffeine stock solution. After that, repeat the same process that you did for the sugar stock solution to make 50%, 10%, and 1% mixture. Add 8 milliliters of caffeine stock solution to the petri dishes labeled C1 to C5, 1%, 10%, and 50%. Repeat this step with the sugar stock solution and with the dishes labeled S1 to S5. After that, take 8 milliliters of plain spring water with the dishes labeled Control 1 to Control 5 and add that into the dishes. After this process, take the 35 Planarian and transfer each individual one into each of the 35 petri dishes. After this, the planarian were cut into approximately the same head and tail size, and 3 days after this process, the planarians were put under a dissecting microscope and observed to see their regeneration. And this process lasted for 2 weeks since there were 4 trials. And it takes 2 weeks for a planarian to regenerate. Ratings were how it was determined if the planarians showed any sign of growth. The ratings were from 0 to 5, and 0 was no growth, and 5 was full, fresh, new planarian. These are the data tables for the 4 trials. The S1 1%, 10%, and 50% are growing a lot more faster than the caffeine. Also starting from day 2, C1 to C5 50% were all dead. And the controls, surprisingly, developed quite a bit in the process. They even surpassed the caffeine regrowth ratings. These results show that caffeine slowed down the regeneration cycle of the planarian, and consuming too much of it or giving a planarian too much of it could kill it. There was an error where in some petri dishes there were 3 and even 4 planarians instead of 2. So somewhere during the dissecting procedure, something went wrong. This error affected the results in a bad way because now the data is somewhat biased due to the mistake made during the experiment. 2 obstacles faced was that the planarians would often get stuck in the pipette or stick to the plastic, and it would be hard to take them out. And another was that they got divided into 3 or even 4 pieces, which was never expected to happen since I only cut them in half. In the future, I would use ethanol and ADHD medication, and if this project was done in higher levels, then I would have more tools to use, and I could use a different type of animal to experiment on, such as Daphnia. I would also keep the planarians in different environments to see how that would affect the regeneration cycle. Thank you! And these are the image citations used for the pictures that I put.